All right, so hopefully this visual will help you on the torso rotation machine. This will help a lot more on the torso rotation machine where the upper half of your body moves. It'll make a little bit less sense directly relating to the lower half torso rotation, but I'll try to make it make sense in that one as well. So when you're in that machine, if this will work for me, what we're trying to do is imagining you've got your pelvis down here is the fixed section. It's not moving at all. And you're trying to use all of this core musculature here to turn your rib cage on top of your fixed pelvis. You see in this visual, the pelvis does not move. That's what you should be trying to do on the machine. Locking that pelvis down by kind of bracing it into those pads that your thighs push on. And then using this core musculature, consciously engaging it to then twist your rib cage on top of your fixed pelvis. And unlike in this visual, you want to keep those contracted as you nice and slowly control it back to the beginning of the motion. So what you'll notice here is if I can draw on this a little bit, which I usually can, is this section down here does not move. No move. And this section up here is the one that we are trying to twist. This will work for me. There we go. So this section, this pelvis section down here, stays locked in one place while this upper section of your spine and your rib cage spins on top of the fixed pelvis. And it's not enough to just kind of think you're doing it. You need to really lock that pelvis in by bracing into those pads and then keep it there the whole time while you slowly twist yourself across, engaging all of that core musculature. Now, see if I can make this make sense for the lower half. Clear all the drawings, please. Would you like to continue? Yes. Thank you. Now, what we're going to have is instead of this top section moving, what we're going to have is this bottom section moving. So, I get out of that. To kind of make that make sense, as this gets to the end of the movement, what it would look like is your chest will be staying in one solid place, and then this section down here is what's trying to twist. So your chest will be staying in one spot. This little sucker will be staying in one place while you then twist your lower body back and forth. This unfortunately does not show the reverse action, but you may be able to see how if I can kind of twist this as it goes, maybe that section stays in one place while the pelvis twists. So to do that again a little bit better this time, sternum stays in place while the pelvis then twists. So on the lower half rotation machine, which I don't have yet as of making this video, but should be on the way this week, that's what you're thinking about trying to do. Chest stays in one place and you're driving this little bone. Where is it? There we go. This little bone right here. Come on. Do the thing. This little bone, that kind of bony front part of your pelvis, is what you are then trying to twist around. You're trying to move this whole pelvic girdle back and forth with the lower half torso version. So without this guy in there, you may be able to see that a little bit better. Let's do that one more time. So if I stay squared up on this at the beginning, which should be right about there. Now I'll try to move it in sync so the chest is staying fixed while you see this little point down here is that I've circled is the thing that's actually moving. It's a little tricky. One more time. You can see that pelvis is the thing that twists even though the rib cage stays fixed on that upper half rotation. So hopefully between those two visuals you have a better idea of how to use those trunk rotation machines and really get your intention down so up in your brain you're specifically thinking about yourself as this skeleton with in the upper half the pelvis fixed and the rib cage turning. And then with the lower half, the rib cage fixed with the pelvis doing the turning. Hopefully that helps this make a little more sense and get your intention down on that machine or those two machines.